무서워.
Keep clicking on stuff I'm not supposed to. Hello. We're gonna be getting started pretty soon. Still waiting on Ryan to jump into the Discord chat here. Once he does, I'm gonna have to adjust some settings to make sure that you can hear him and all that. But once that's going, we'll be off to the races. So thanks for your patience. Okay. Still waiting for Ryan Debban to drop in, but it's alright. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Making sure everything's running right. Looks like it is. Looks like we're okay. So far, so good. How's everyone doing? It's Wednesday. Halfway through the week, halfway through whatever you're doing this week. Yeah, man. We're hopefully gonna be today's plan with Ryan is mostly just gonna be I just realized I'm like way quieter than the music. Mostly gonna be about catching up, asking some questions. You know, he makes a lot of music too, and it's gonna be interesting to hear like what he's been up to lately, some of his methods, some of the sounds that he chooses to use and stuff like that. If you haven't listened to any of his music, please do so. Look him up, Ryan Debban on Spotify, YouTube. I believe he's on Apple Music as well. He's very, very skilled guy, very talented guy. He does a lot of primarily hip hop. I would say R&B, rooted in some jazzy jazz, some blues. It's really stellar stuff. So check out that stuff on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your music. It's really sweet stuff. So yeah, hopefully we'll be getting some of his input today on just kind of his methods, what he does, what he likes to do, his workflow, you know, nothing crazy. But more importantly, I'm also just looking forward to talking to the guy again. I knew him way back. We got to know each other at Chemeketa, of all places, which is a community college in Salem, if you don't know. And we were going for different things. So I'm interested to see what he wound up doing after Chemeketa, because I went into music education, and he went into something else. But I know that we took music classes together, or at least music theory classes together, and those are some fun classes. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that, kind of reminiscing about our old Chemeketa times. We'll probably talk about what we've been doing since. So if that's something that's interesting to you, stick around for that. If not, because we're just, you know, to some of you probably just two very random people. If that's not interesting to you, that's fine too. We will be probably talking more music, trying to stay on topic a little bit today. We'll try. He's also just a very entertaining guy, very funny guy. I'm really excited to catch up with him and just kind of chit chat and do some talk about some silly things together too. As always, I got my kombucha. I'm drinking Clear Mind. My Brew Doctor. Brew Doctor has been my favorite so far. I actually had recently this one right here called Soma Balance. Really good. It's pear and fennel, which is it was a very the front taste of it was like pretty weird, especially at first. It was pretty weird at first. And then as time went on, I kind of got more used to that weird flavor, but the aftertaste is phenomenal. It's not cheap stuff either. It was like $5 for like, what is this? Probably 16 ounces. Yeah, 16.9 ounces. So not cheap for what it is, but like, it was good. It was good. It was about as much as like you would expect out of like a pint and a half beer or something like that. In terms of price to amount of liquid, but as some of you do know, I used to be a pretty big beer drinker, and then I didn't become a beer drinker anymore, and so now I am primarily drinking a lot of kombucha lately. Not as much as I used to, but lately I've been, averaging 1 to 2 a night, which has been refreshing. It's not, I wish it was cheaper. I get why it's not, because it's, the process for making it, it's a lot. It's a lot, but would really be cool if it was cheaper. Or I know buying it in like bulk is better. But what do I know? What do I know about kombucha? I just drink the stuff. I don't make it. Well, someday I would like to make it. I think it's kind of the plan. Kind of the plan. So yeah. Let's see here. Wanted to hopefully see if everything's working correctly here. I know I'm probably gonna get a little bit. Oh, I should probably monitor. Probably gonna get a little bit of delay. A little bit of delay in my program here, but that's gonna be fine. That's gonna be just fine. Not a big deal. Not big deal. So yeah, while we're waiting, oh, I just realized I got this big dump box here. While we're waiting, let's go away. There we go. While we're waiting, let's jump into some. Let's go do a little some. What do you say? What do you say? Just gotta make sure I unmute the right things. Okay. Oh. Of course, the let me hold on a second. Let me get this up. No, Windows 10 has been just the worst. No, I want this to go up here. Thank you. Goodness. All right, let me see here. Okay, it's working for me, but I'm not getting anything. Why? Oh, maybe I need to set the priority isn't to actually make music today, but if we do decide to, I would really like this to actually work. Weird concept, I know. Should I just set this to default maybe? I hate how many different things I have to do to get everything working. It's just so obnoxious. That's not just a one program fixes all, or it's always about routing things to different things, and then those things go to different things. There we are. Okay, now I got some audio. Sweet. Okay. While we're waiting for Ryan still, let's see here. There was a couple tracks that I was in the middle of working on last time on stream. And they were either getting really close to being done or they were done. So I'm going to take a moment. I think that was my drum and bass track. I want to say this is one of my dumb and bass. Might as well be drum and bass track. I want to say this is my drum and bass track, but I'm going to open it anyways and just verify, because I have this really nasty habit of never putting things in the right location. Also, Ryan would be proud of me because he knows how unorganized I am in this program, or at least I told him I was very unorganized, but I actually took the time for this one. So yeah, this is my drum and bass track, or one of them anyways. So I am actually going to move this over to, we're going to cut that and move it to my drum and bass. I'm sure some of you can relate to this. Most of these are, either half finished or they have like 4 bars of ideas in there. Also spelled collab wrong. You know what? We're not here to judge. We're here to drink kombucha and chill. I say to myself as I'm judging myself. Let's see here. Which one was it? We should be able to hear Ryan pop in here. Probably. Probably we'll hear him pop in. All right, what do we got here? What do we got here? Oh, yeah, here's the 4 bars. That is not what I thought it was going to be. I don't even know why this exists. But yeah, I've got some stuff that I have made recently that I have not been releasing. This is nothing. I don't even want to look at this or listen to it. But I do need to get... There's nothing here. Oh my gosh. How long has it been? Do need to get better about organizing my stuff, like putting everything that's like half finished or unfinished into like a folder, and then have like a subcategory or subfolders of like the genre that I'm working on or whatever. Oh, this is funky fresh. What is this? This is weird. I don't like it. Rocks. I do know that I have a couple of weird ones I could work on. A couple of old ones to revive a little bit. Because I did used to do quite a bit of lo-fi back a couple years ago now. How long ago has it been? So I'm missing a sample apparently. What did you used to be? 2020. Yeah, over a year ago. So I don't know what happened to that. Weird stuff, man. Can I fix this, please? Okay. Just like nothing here, because there used to be something here. If I'm gonna have this, I'm definitely gonna have to keep this going. Yeah, none of this is processed at all. That's fine. The shaker's kind of annoying. Like it's like annoying me. I don't know why. It's been a long time since I've worked on this, so. It's like. Like it just needs to be, I think, washed out a little bit. I'm gonna use some pretty dry reverb here. Oh, that's already better. I'll be a little too quiet, but at least it's not. I think the second, it just needs to be a bit quieter too. Oh, I see what I did. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, I see. That's fine. That's better. What's going on here? Why do I have... And oh, of course right now it's just the same thing over and over. So I don't even know why I'm working on this right now. I don't know. Why not? I do gotta figure something out. There's a weird thing going on with Discord right now. Discord's being annoying, as per usual. Sorry about that. Audio's working fine. Don't need any of that. What I do need... oh my. Huh. So my issue right now is I am running a virtual cam into Discord so that Ryan can also see what I'm doing. However, the virtual cam is backwards. So it shows me mirrored. It's like a mirrored image of my screen. And I don't want that to be a mirror image. But I can't find a setting that explains why it is a mirror image. Huh. Well. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, and he lost my audio for whatever reason. Goodness. Oh, because I'm muted. Duh. Okay. Did that get rid of me too? No? Okay, cool. So many settings and too many buttons, but we're getting there. I'm going to turn myself up a little bit. Okay. Okay, rocking good. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Hi, yes. He's having some technical issues with Discord as per usual with Discord. But yes, the person who did my haircut was a very cool person. So yeah, whenever he figures out what's going on with his Discord, hopefully we're getting him on soon. Hold on.
Let's fucking go.
All right.
Let's freaking go,
Let's
baby. How-
Ryan. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you beautifully.
Hell yeah. Okay. Okay, sweet. Looks like you're looking good. I'm looking good. We're both looking sexy as per usual. What else is new, man? What you drinking today?
Dude, I have a level hazy boy
Oh man.
IPA.
An IPA. You were always wearing an IPA guy, weren't you?
And and it is hazy and it's juicy.
Good.
It's nice.
Looks
What you
good,
got?
man. I got some kombucha. It's in the name.
Then
It's yeah,
you
man.
have to drink kombucha.
Well, it's just part of the game, you know. It's part of the grind.
You have
Um,
now tell me about how that name came to be because you were like you texted me and you were like, "Don't ask me about the name" or something.
yeah. So I was trying to come up with a name for like my lo-fi stuff, and I'm like, what's more chill than kombucha, right? What's more chill and laid back than nothing, right? Like, anyways, so I'm like driving around. Let's see here. I had to go to a gas station. I was with my sibling at the time, and we were like, I was like, man, I'm trying to think of a good name. I'm like, I've been liking kombucha lately, but anyways, I I was buying kombucha and I was talking to the clerk and or the guy selling me the kombucha. And he's like, man, I could never get into kombucha. My sister tried to get me into it. There's too much. There's just so too many floaties in it. I'm like, oh, kind of like pulp. And he's like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah, kind of like pulp. And I'm like, oh, that's gross. It's a little curse. Just don't think about it too much. It's a little
I like
curse.
it.
But yes, kombucha,
That's the
pulp, man.
those are the best like ways to like create names, in my opinion, like from like just stuff based on real experiences, because what I've been doing lately, like if I feel a track, if I like a beat that I made or whatever, I'll just
Yeah.
like bounce it and put it on Audius,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just name it like whatever happened. Like
Right.
I went to Vegas with my friend Nate, and we were like having brunch in front of the Bellagio,
Okay.
and I got like a Paloma or
Mm-hmm.
something, and I literally just like, and I made a track when we got back to the hotel, and I just named it like Palomas by the Bellagio or something. But I feel like
Amazing.
it's a like I don't even like document the like your days.
Right,
You know?
right. I mean, and isn't that the whole point of music? You know, the whole point is it's our experiences coming to a platform in which people can listen to. You know, and I think that's the most unique part of music, and you know, in a lot of ways, visual arts as well, is our ability to kind of grab hold of what happens in day to day life and make it in some ways maybe even more meaningful than it really was. In your case, you know, with her, what was it called again? Palomas. Palomas. What's a paloma? What's a paloma?
Dude, nothing. I have no idea.
It's nothing.
Sweet. It's sweet. It's kind of fruity. Oh, I
Okay.
think it has like fruit in it. I might be way off, but it's like grapefruit and vodka.
Okay. Grapefruit and vodka. Good to know. Good to know.
I don't really mess with like mixed drinks, but
Right.
in Vegas they have like the worst beer. Like every menu has like Coors and Budweiser, and then like the shittiest IPA. And so and sometimes you get the IPA and it's just bad. It's just not even good.
It's not the Pacific Northwest IPA, you know.
It's not and this is the first time I really travel outside of the state that often, so it was just kind of bizarre to be in a spot where I was like, I don't want a beer right now.
Right. I mean, there's something to be said about quality of water in beer, right? Because if your quality of water is bad, like, I don't know, in Vegas, you're probably not going to be able to brew very good beer, and or they're going to have to, like, you know, ship it across numerous states. Little Stitious in the chat says it's a tequila-based cocktail. That's what Google told them. So
I didn't even know.
Well, there you go. That's quite literally. Is that literally just what it means? A tequila-based cocktail. Yeah.
It was delicious.
It sounds good. I can't imagine it being bad. Yeah.
Yeah, we. I think that's my favorite thing to do is just kind of like sip something and work on music. You know, it doesn't even have to be a beer. It could be. It could be a you know, like a LaCroix or
like a LaCroix.
I like grapefruit juice just like by itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like a kombucha.
Oh,
that's normally what I do. That's my thing, man. That's my thing.
Actually, that I consume.
That's what now?
For the texture.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
The kombucha is a living organism, right? Or it has a
right. It's got bacterias in it. It's apparently it's supposed to be good for me, but like I don't treat it like a health drink. You know the saying is everything in moderation. I feel like I don't adhere to that when it comes to like, you know, kombucha, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Man, I wanted to talk to you. I kind of had like this vague itinerary, you know, because it's been years since we caught up, man. So like,
it's a long time.
I think the last time I saw you in person was one of my band's gigs.
It was that was like years ago. It's crazy.
Right.
That was like 2 years ago. Maybe
that had to be more, like 3 or 4. I mean, okay. Let's see here. I went to Shemeketa in 2016. And so that's about when we met, I think.
For sure.
And so it would have been maybe around 2017 was the last was that gig. So it might have been 3 or 4 years ago since we've seen each other like in person. So
Yeah, it was like, I think it was summer, and we ganged up and
Yeah.
went to Feckin' Brewery,
Feckin'
which is
Brewery.
closed.
I know. I'm so upset about that. I'm so upset
Yeah,
because like that was the place where we always played, you know. And
yeah.
so having that place closed really sucked. I like the place. The owners are planning on reopening it to at a different location though, so it won't be in
Whoa.
Oregon City anymore. I don't know where. And it's just hearsay at this point because like I'll believe it when I see it. But like
Yeah.
running a bar has got to be like one of the most difficult things on the planet. Like I can't imagine,
The
dude. I can't.
the crazy thing is, so I went to that brewery with you
Mm-hmm.
and had a great time watching you guys like slay. And then Bryson Dodds, who's like my roommate now, he lived down the street from Feckin' Brewery.
Oh no way.
So
Huh.
I don't know how we came about it, but we were linking up to like do music stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, like he sent me the address, and it was like just down the street, and this was like a year
Amazing.
after I'd been with you, I think,
Right.
and that was crazy because I was like, oh my gosh, we can just like walk there.
Just yeah, take a trip over to the fucking brewery. Just yeah.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. And they had another live band playing, and I was screaming at people, "Where the hell is Evan? Where the hell is Evan?" And I got kicked out. But
You're kidding, right?
no, I'm just playing.
Okay, good. Because like that's the dumb reason. One, dumb reason to get kicked out, and two, that doesn't sound like something you do.
You hired not Evan. I'm not. You will not have my business. And then they were like, "All right, bet."
You can't kick me out. I'm leaving. The kind of thing, right? Yeah.
That's right. I didn't get kicked out.
Right, you left
on my word.
Right, you brought your dignity with you, of course.
That's right.
Cool. Okay, so 3 or 4 years ago, probably 4. I'm leaning towards at least 3.5 years ago, which is crazy amount of time. What have you been up to since then, man? Because I know you went to U of O, right? After Shemeketa? Okay.
Yeah, so I went to U of O for like 2 years. Or I finished out my business marketing degree.
Cool.
And I took some like music technology classes in their music program. And it was a weird program. Have you ever heard of Max?
Max, like MAX?
Yes.
In what context? In music production, or
you can use it in a DAW, but it's kind of its own. It's like a sequencer, so you can throw in like sound waves, but you have to like. It's like you're building the plugin inside this platform called Max.
Okay.
It's almost like you build VST.
Is it like Patcher then in Fruity Loops?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I use Patcher a little bit. I used to be pretty good at using it, but then for a lot of things, Patcher doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to use all the time.
It was so like at the UO Pro like music technology program, like half the classes are you just like learning this Max deal, and it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I really should have looked into the program before I like did it, because I just kind of assumed when I met up with one of the I had like a call with one of the professors just to kind of get a vibe for what the program would be like before I like committed to that as my minor. And he was like, oh yeah, you'll have time working in DAWs and recording and all this, and like half of the program was like playing around in Max and just making the most like bizarre sequences and like sounds. And then about halfway through my second year, we started sampling. We started like you go out and you record like all live natural sounds and then like make a beat out of that. And so that was when I really started being like, okay, cool. I can actually like use this for my own stuff. And I did my Pocket Full of Sunshine project that senior year.
Okay, because I love that song. I actually listened to it. I listened to most of your stuff today. Just that. I mean, I check up on you like maybe once a month or so. Just be like, hey, I wonder if he's made anything new lately. And super sweet, man. Super awesome. I'm loving the stuff you've been pumping out. But that is definitely one of my favorite songs that you made.
It's
whoever your feature was on that, dude. She's nuts. Celise.
Yeah.
Okay, she's insane.
She's crazy.
Have you been keeping up with her at all, or?
We were working on somewhat of like a project, and it's funny when you work with artists because a lot of people don't really know what they want to do. Like,
correct.
They idea.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I want the song. I want like a 4-track EP, but
sure.
And you know, okay, cool. And my vision is more like I want to do more stuff like Pocket Full of Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her that, and I was like, I think you can sound like an Erykah Badu, a Raven Lenae, like even like a SZA, or she has the vocal chops, and she wants to do like more like electronic, kind of based music type stuff, and she kind of had an outline, but there was just not a very focused outline.
Sure.
And I was moving up to Tigard, like I knew I was gonna move. It was like that's the summer before. I was like, I'm gonna be moving up anyway. Like, I'd be down to record stuff if you want to record on my stuff, but if not, like I don't want to just like have like video conferences with you trying to like figure out what the vibe is. And obviously like no harm, it was a very like amicable situation. But what I did do is the song references she was sending me, I was like, oh, my friend Nate Frary makes this stuff like all the time.
Okay.
Or his vibe is way more into the electronic, like strange sounds to like make a texture and all that. So I was like, hey, I hit him up, and he was like, yeah, dude, let send me your number or whatever. And so they have like it's the same project, but they have the like bare bones kind of like start recorded and figured out. She's really dope. When you're working with her, like she's the definition of like artsy for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah. Really? She like, you can tell she like feels music in like a different, like she sees it a different way.
Right. That's like the rewarding part about what we do, is being able to take people like that and like able to make them shine, because a lot of people like that don't really know what they want, especially at the beginning. And it's kind of our job to kind of guide them through it. I did an album somewhat recently with Debban. I'd like to get him on my stream sometime. To kind of talk about his album a little bit, but he was a little different, to be honest. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he knew exactly what it was all going to sound like. And I wouldn't say almost to a fault, but almost to a fault. You know what I mean? Like, it was like it was hard because there was like some things that was like, well, what if we kind of push things a little bit like this? And I can't fault him at all, because the dude knew what he wanted, and it made my job pretty easy, right? I didn't really have to do a lot to artistically guide him, because he's just as good as a musician. I mean, he's better of a musician than I am, to be honest. I just know more on the production side of things, so we kind of teamed up for that. But I've had solo artist from Canada, actually. I'd like to get her on sometime too. It'd be fun. But she was working on a track, and she was like, Evan, I can't figure out how to make this sound good. She actually did most of the recording herself already. And it was like not bad already. But then a lot of it just like, well, what if you tried this, kind of thing. And I wound up layering some other instruments and whatnot. So, some of the best philosophy I've picked up when working or producing other people was, you know, it's at the end of the day, they don't really care what you do from, you know, between point A and point B. It's what the point B sounds like, you know? So like if you have to add stuff, it's your job to make it sound good no matter what the artist thinks they want, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
I think that's all. It was that the album. I know you put out an album, and then I think before that or after that, you had an album with one of your buddies. Is that album you're talking about?
Yeah, that would have been after, quite a bit after. We worked on that in 2020. What was that?
It sounded like a musical to me.
Yeah, and you know what? Debban is a music director for theater in Salem. He's like one of the guys that does all of the music directing in Salem. So he's it's really dope, yeah. And he's gotten me a few gigs here and there, just, you know, playing live when I feel like it. You know, I mean, right now I have been playing more bass than I ever have in my life.
Wow.
I am playing bass in 2 bands right now. And then, of course, fiddle in my Irish band. I'm still in that, which is fun. But
oh yeah.
Oh, I should get Susan on here sometime. She'd be a blast to talk to.
Is that the lead of that group, or
Susan? She is the oldest of the group. She's kind of the one that started it. You know, she's kind of the one with all the money. And having money, you know, starts bands pretty quickly.
That's for sure.
So
she was like 45.
Yeah, 45. Yeah, 45. No,
how old is she really?
She's like mid 60s, late 60s now.
Oh!
I know, but she's going pretty tough. I mean, her dad is like, what was he, 97, 98 right now, and he's the owner of the Enchanted Forest theme park, so he's always there. Anyways, yeah. So she's she owns the Enchanted Forest, so of course she has the money to throw at this kind of thing, you know.
Of course that guy's still kicking it.
Of course, yeah. So it's a pretty crazy setup going on over there. But yeah, Susan would be fun to talk to. But she does a lot of production stuff. She was doing audio recording back in the 8-track days, where everything was still analog, you know, with all the tapes and stuff. And then one of her first like actual digital experience recording was on the original Apple computer, like the Color 1 or the Color 2 or something like that. I know. I was just like, geez, man, damn, that would have been cool. I actually saw the computer that she originally like recorded on at one point. It's sad seeing it like just, you know, practically just a home for spiders at this point, but you know.
I mean, yeah, that having that history is crazy though. Yeah, you know,
that's true.
And I know you guys like, I know you do a lot of the like recording and mixing of the group, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This next album that we're working on right now, I'm doing a bit less on than I did the last album. I did about half of the last album. This album I'm doing, I think, 2 or 3 songs on it, which is not a big deal to me at all. But what I am doing is I'm doing a lot of the mastering for it. Because if there's anything, because Sue's been doing all the recording because she just has a better facility for it. So she just does a lot of the recording. She does a lot of the processing. That she's sending me like the complete mixes, and then I'm mastering them. So it's, you know, it's like I can get a track done in an afternoon, if not less, you know, now, because if that's all I'm doing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's honestly kind of a sweet gig.
It is. Yeah.
Mastering.
Mm-hmm.
What so you need to let me know when you guys play in any of the groups.
Okay. Ironically, so my rock band, Room Key 301, I might be streaming a writing session with them tonight after we're done here.
Sick.
So yeah, they might jump on. Anyways, we actually have a recording session planned for this Saturday at U of O, or sorry, not U of O, Western Oregon University. And
nice.
They've got apparently a pretty decent recording facility over there, albeit not everything is like apparently working right? But that's whatever. I mean, we'll make it work. We have all the equipment. We just need the facility mostly. So we're planning on
Yeah.
recording a couple. We're planning on recording an EP, and our drummer actually goes to Western Oregon for music production, and he's been
Oh,
killing the game. You know, I told him about Treecollective, and that is something I want to talk to you about today too. Because I'm
yes.
curious to see where that came from. Because like one day you just hit me up and you're like, "Hey, bro, send me some tracks for this project." And I'm like, "Okay, I have like 3 million questions about it, but I guess that'll be answered in another day." But whatever.
Yeah,
Today's that day. Today's that day. But we'll get to it. But I did
dude.
mention that. So he might, bro. He's got this like pretty tight collab going on with another guy. He goes by Stat Key over in Western Oregon, and he's got the flow, man. He's got an amazing voice for rap and R&B, and so they're yeah. I'm trying to get them to submit a track. I think definitely get it on Spotify, but I also think I recommend him talking to you and seeing if he can get on your Treecollective podcast. And on that note, what is it? Where did it come from?
Treecollective.
Yeah,
I'm
what is
excited
it?
for this. So Treecollective is kind of the brainchild of myself and my close buddy Nate. He goes by Hey Nate. And Nate's a dude that I met at UO, and we have different like ways of telling the story, but we man, I always thought he was a weird dude. Like I always felt like he was making eye contact with me and in class, and we had like we were both doing like business majors, and I kept like I was like, why is this guy looking at me? And like prolonged eye contact, and I'd be looking, behind me to see like, is he looking at somebody behind me? Like,
is it one of those things where it's like you look at somebody because you think they're looking at you a lot, but because you're looking at them a lot, then that means they're also looking at you a lot because they're like wondering the same thing? Is it one of those things?
Yeah. Yes.
No, okay. Exactly. Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah, and it's tough because I'm like I can't like get it out of my head once it happens to me. I'm always like, okay, what's this guy's deal? And so we like hit like a water break. You get like a 5-minute water break. So we were both. He left, I guess, and about halfway through, I was like, I better go hit the bathroom. So I get up. I'm walking down the hall, and he's walking back, and the eye contact again, like I was like. I can't just like not say hi or whatever because I feel too like I feel like I have to say something.
Right.
So I was like, "Hey, dude, like Nate, right? My name's Ryan," and he was like, "Yeah, like we're in class," and we just basically just got down to like Nate flipped it around on me and was like, "You're in the School of Music, aren't you? Like you like produce or something?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah." Do you do that too, or like is that kind of how I know you? Or and he was like, yeah, I'm like a business major and then like a music minor, like a music tech minor,
right?
And he was a pop music minor.
Okay.
And so we just we linked up that day. He's like, yeah, we should like hang and like work on music sometime. And we like hung out that day, like right after class, and like made a song. We like recorded a song, and that summer we put out a collection of like 6 songs. We called it College Tuition.
Yeah, I love those. I love those tracks,
dude. Yeah, I mean they're just like they're silly. Great. It's us like figuring out like our sound, and it just like learning what we sound like as 2 artists working together.
Right.
And so I moved up to Tigard. I work for an orthodontist. I do all of the like digital marketing and then like new patient like business growth side of things. Cool. And that's been a lot of fun. And you get 3-day weekends.
That's nice.
In that field. So it's perfect for me because I can do that and then work on music and whatnot like the other 3 days of the week and after work and stuff. So that's been like a nice like balance, like life balance for me. But Nate moved up. He stayed there an extra year. We still kind of worked on some music, And then, but it was here and there, and it was like, you know, if I went down to Eugene, I had my buddy Dev, who goes by Daydream. He's a producer too. He's on some Treecollective stuff, and then I'd hang out with Nate. Nate finally moved up like a year ago, and ever since then, every Tuesday he comes to my place, or I'll go to his spot. Usually he'll come to my place, and we go and we have a beer, and we come back to my place and we make a song. And we just stacked up songs. We have tracks for days. We might have like 50 to like 75 or like 100 songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing.
And the great thing about Nate is he's always kind of like evolving it's a gift and a curse. He's always evolving the idea that he has for music or his life or, you know, this and that. But it's like every week he has like a new idea. And one week he came to me and we were just kind of sitting down, like we catch up and we talk about our weeks. And he was like, you know, like, I feel like we work together. And I myself personally, I work with this guy named Patrick who's in Florida, and we have like 4 tracks. And I work with my brother Drew, and I work with Nate, and you know, and then Nate has like a couple of gals that do like vocals that he works with, and then myself. And we put out a 3-pack called Songs by the Lake this last summer.
Fantastic. Yeah, for anybody listening, definitely check it out. It's really good.
Songs by the Lake.
It's amazing.
It was one of those things where like we sat down and we were like, after we dropped Songs by the Lake, we were hanging out. He's like, dude, we have way more freaking tracks than Songs by the Lake. Like, we only dropped 3, and we have 10 that we're working on now to drop as like a project.
Right.
But what about all the other beats? What about all the other fun things that we like, but that never get out? And I was chatting it up with my brother, and this guy, he makes a lot of like, I don't even know, like trap based, like hip hop beats.
Yeah.
And he goes by Debbie. And so we were talking, and Drew and I we were kind of stewing on that idea, talking with Drew. He was like, oh, well, I mean, he was showing me all these beats. So I was like, Drew, we should get these mixed and mastered. You should put out like a pack of beats on Spotify or something, or start sending them to rappers or whatever. And he was like, yeah, you know, I don't know. Because, you know, he goes to school. He's down at UO for jazz drums.
Wow.
And he doesn't have the time to like figure out how to mix it, master it, drop it.
Is he a performance major?
He's a performance
major. Yeah, he definitely doesn't have time. Plus, he's a drummer, which means he's in every fucking band.
He's in like 3 or 4 bands.
Right. You know, there's no doubt.
There's no fucking time. You know, so
no.
So I thought, oh shit. Nate's whole thing was like, this is what artists are struggling with, that are, you know, we're all DIY artists, you know.
Yeah.
None of us are signed. None of us have huge followings. None of us are like big poppin', but we have cool shit.
Yeah.
And so that's where I came back to Nate. I was like, yeah, man, Drew has like lots of tracks too. And Dev, my buddy Dev, he has tracks too. And then I thought, who else do we know? Well, Evan, I know for sure, has a fucking stack of just.
I do.
You know, and you know, he knows dudes. I know dudes, and he was like, what if we like formed a group, and it started out where it was like a group where we would like meet up like every month, like physically in person, and like work on music together for like a weekend or something. And it's tough because everybody has plans for the weekends. That's so hard to like navigate. And then it came down to, what if we formed a group? Everybody, like, our immediate circle of artists that we know and we've hung out with, we've worked with, we hit them up. They can send us a verse, they can send us a beat, they can send us up to 3 songs. And we put out a tape once a month on the first Tuesday of every month.
Right. It's fantastic.
And so far we've dropped 6 tapes.
Yeah.
And
Has
so,
it already been 6
that's
months?
what Treecollective is really just like a community where, you know, anybody can contribute. And, you know, that you can't just shoot us like, you know, a 30-second shitty thing.
Yeah, right.
But you put time into it.
Right.
And you made a track.
Yeah.
And it has, and it sounds good. We'll put it on this tape, and we're not really too worried about like a cohesive sound. We kind of like having the different styles, and so far we've been grouping them by artists, so we don't just kind of like spew the tracks out randomly. It's like, you know, you're gonna get at least 3 to 4 different vibes on each tape,
right?
And it's just been super fun, man. And looking back on dropping 6 projects in 6 months, like I've personally never dropped this much music just like that consistently,
right?
And it forces, and at least in my case, and you know, with my brother and Nate, it forces us to think forward to every single month. We don't ever have a month where we're not gonna drop something,
right?
And
which
it
keeps us
more hyped for it. Yeah, it keeps
it moving,
going, and it makes more hyped for like our personal stuff that we're working on,
right?
Because I know with myself, I have like a 4-track EP with my buddy Patrick that's in Florida. I have I don't even know, like 6 or 7 songs with my buddy Denzel, who's down in Eugene. And I have my own project that has like 6. It's my own solo project apart from the one that I have with Nate. But those 3 projects, they've been chilling because I haven't like ever put like a deadline,
right?
You know, and I think there's benefits to that too, because it allows you to feel it, and you don't want to put something out that you're not excited about.
Correct.
You know, and so anyway, that's what Treecollective is, and so I would love to have 10 artists on a project. You know, I would love to just like get to know more, more like Portland and like Oregon, based artists. I've already met, you know, friends of Nate's that I never would have met, that work on music. I never would have met them if we hadn't like made this like a thing.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'm really digging the project. The idea for it is great. I do appreciate that you're not so worried about the cohesiveness of the genres, because that is kind of a, you know, you want it to be accessible. And I think the biggest problem with today, especially in the amateur scene, is accessibility, you know, because the barrier for entry for home producers, like, sure, anybody can make music at home now, but what's the cost of that? It's an oversaturated market, which means the barrier of entry is just astronomically more higher than for people who are already well established into that scene. And so it's like, what can we possibly do as amateur artists? We can unionize in a way, you know, it's kind of like a union, you know, where we get to make the rules, we get to submit what we want to submit. And so having it not be genre limited, I think is makes it more accessible, which we could, us musicians could always use more of, you know. Even just this last November's tape, was it? Sorry, this month is November, isn't it? Yeah, we're on October. Yeah, October's tape. I sent over like a pop punk track, like pop punk rock track, you know, nothing. And then everybody else's was like hip hop instrumental or whatever they felt like, you know. And I love that concept. And then this month I submitted 3 of my lo-fi tracks, and then maybe next month I'll submit 3 of my drum and bass tracks or whatever I'm feeling, because I'm so bad at sticking to the like same genre. And I wouldn't say it's bad per se, but I definitely don't have like an established, like, I made my kombucha pulp channel to be lo-fi specific, and I've already broken that. It's like I can't limit myself like that.
Thing about you, like, we were Nate, you know, yesterday was Tuesday, Nate came through and we got pad thai, and on the way to pad thai we were bumping the December tape, And that's the cool thing is we have a tape every month and that drops on Tuesday, and then we have another one that about by the 10th or the 11th, we try to make sure that it's mastered and then ready to go and submitted.
Mm-hmm.
So we're bumping this December tape, and it's like 10 tracks, 4 artists.
Right.
It's just fun, and dude, your track slapped. Of course.
Oh, thank you. I think one of them I haven't released on anything yet. So you're getting a Kombucha Pulp exclusive. I don't remember. I think I'm just gonna release them under my name. I don't really care that much about it being like Kombucha Pulp for my lo-fi tracks anymore. But I do like the Kombucha Pulp just being my channel, my streamer channel. Because why not? It's fun.
It's great.
It's just fun. Dude, yeah, super excited for the next tape. Now the name Treecollective, where did that come from?
Okay, that's something that Nate and I like. So when we were doing, and it's every single time Nate and I drop something. So even to go back to, no, I'll answer this and then I'll go. I want to talk a little bit more about the like genre, like sticking to one genre. But with Treecollective, we were fighting about this thing. Like we, obviously a friendly. In a friendly like way, but it was one of those things where we were just shooting each other names like via text, and we it was like, all right, we had decided like, all right, we want to do a collective thing. We want to hit people up. We want to invite people to get people to contribute or at least feel like they can share their tracks with us, even if they don't want it out or whatever.
Right.
And so then obviously the next step is like, what do we call ourselves? Is it just like PDX Collective? Do we even put collective in the name?
Right.
Do we do some cheesy shit? Like, I don't, it's tough. And the first thing that I thought was like, what if we made every single month is a different kind of tree? There's like a billion trees. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of already tough to run out.
And even if you do run out, there's like, you could do like variations of other plants, right? Because like, I mean, like, yeah, I guess how many different? I'm gonna Google this really quick. I'm so curious.
Yeah, dude,
I'm so
Google
curious.
That,
how many different species of trees are there? Let's find out what Google has to say about this. That is not the question. Wow. 60,065 tree species.
Dude, hell yeah.
Wow. And if you consider how many tracks you've been releasing per one of those, it's crazy.
It's
crazy amount. Can I get it? Oh, but now that's playing. Wait, I don't want music in the background.
Okay.
Having some technical difficulties over here. Hold on one second.
No, dude, you're chilling. I'm trying to find the link to this so I can post it on like Twitter and stuff.
Oh, to the stream?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Let me just shoot it to you real quick.
Yeah,
I've got it right here. Yeah, I also need to take a little leak. I gotta take a leak, so now would be a good time for a little fiver. Get yourself another beer. I'll get myself another.
Perfect.
Yeah, man.
Perfect. I'm gonna call it kombucha.
You gotta call it kombucha? Okay, go for it, man.
It's not beer, it's kombucha.
It's kombucha, yeah. Yeah, it's true. If you're on my stream, you can't not drink kombucha. I'm sorry to say it.
Dude, you'd ban me. I already know.
I'd ban you. I mean, you've already been shadow banned, but I know. It's already happened.
Did you shoot it to me?
I'm working on it. For some reason, I'm having a hard time finding the link to it.
Can I just look up kombucha pulp on YouTube?
Yeah. You could just do that too. You just do, it's one word, lowercase k, capital P. And I'm gonna go take a quick fiver, a four-ver or whatever, and I'm going to piece some of this kombucha out so I can put more in. If that makes sense. Yeah, man. All right, I'll be right back. I will.
Okay.
And we're back. We're back.
Okay.
We're back. Except I'm missing Ryan's. Where'd you go? Wait, there you are. There you are. Now you're back.
And this episode is brought to you by Cheez-It Duos. Twice the flavor and twice the calories.
Oh man, Duos, man. Hey, I can't eat cheese anymore. I would really wish you would be a little bit more sensitive about my dietary needs.
Dude,
I
don't take other people into consideration when I say things.
I know. I've known this about you. It was the same then. It's the same now.
It's the same now.
It's been the same. Let's put our names up. Let's throw our names up.
Yeah, dude, throw the names up.
We can have kombucha pop up. Yeah, that'll be pretty. Okay. I got the chat up now. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Dude, remember to guard your privacy.
Kombucha.
That's kombucha, yes, clearly. I've never seen a kombucha quite like that before. It looks pretty good.
It's a fantastic kombucha. I've had about 30 of these kombuchas right after work.
Oh, 30. Wow.
I'll tell you, they are scrum-diddly-umptious.
They go down easy because they're healthy.
That's right. They're good for you.
They're good for you.
It's good for you. Kombucha.
Kombucha.
So yeah. Okay. So anyway, Treecollective. We put something out every single month. We put out a tape every single month. Mm-hmm. We have Evan coming up on this Christmas tape. It's called Chestnut.
Excellent.
And that thing comes out. Let me just see here. That thing comes out on December 2nd.
December 2nd.
December 2nd. And the great thing is you can just look forward to it every month. Comes out on the first Tuesday of every month. And so we have Butternut just came out. Chestnut's on the way. 3 tracks from Evan. They're fantastic. We have Hey Nate on the project. We have Debbie, my brother, and myself. And it's just a good time. Yeah. It's just a good time.
Oh, yeah. It's a great time. I'd like to... Oh, go ahead.
The other thing I have doing is Chris Botmus.
Chris Botmus.
Chris Botmus.
Did you do this? You did this last year, didn't you?
We basically take it's my brother and I, my brother Drew.
Yeah.
Debbie, and we take Christmas records and we shit on them. We chop them up. And I rap on them and I sing on them and we just have a good time, and we just we throw in transitions. We do little Christmas themed bits, and then we'll have a little kickback on the 11th of December. And basically we just bump the tape. We've been doing it for 3 years. This will be our third project. So that it'll be fun, but we have that coming up on the 11th of December, Saturday, and you're obviously invited. Would love to have you come through.
Yeah, I'd love to.
We'll probably play some Treecollective stuff too, but yeah, we'll be having some beers and listening to beats pretty much.
Excellent. Yeah, the 11th you said, huh?
The 11th, yeah.
Cool.
If you're free, you gotta come. You're forced to.
Yeah. If I'm free, I'm forced to. If
you can actually come, then you're forced to.
If I'm free, I'm forced to. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm doing anything. I know that I'm gonna be pretty being a musician during December. I'm gonna be a little busy. That
you got those Christmas gigs.
Dude, yeah, Christmas gigs. Got a lot of them. Especially now that I'm playing in a worship band on Sundays. It's been interesting. Playing bass in that.
Dude, you're playing bass and everything now.
I know. It's crazy. Which is not really even the instrument that I've practiced the most, but I did get, a pretty sweet little bass, and I've gotten pretty decent at it now, I would say. So, hey, that being said, if you ever need just some sick bass lines, whatever you want, man, I got you.
Dude, I got those. I just need to have you come up, or I'll come down.
Yeah.
And we just need to sit down and chop some stuff up. Because I think we could have fun even working on a couple to just put out.
Right. Oh, totally. Totally. Becca, Bears beats Battlestar Galactica? Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely the case.
Becca, she's seen The Office.
She's seen the. I think so. I think it's a good sign. I think it's a good
reference.
I think it's a good. See, that's a season 1 reference, man. I think.
Is that season 1?
I don't remember. You know, I'm a fake fan.
You're about to get checked right now.
I am.
Which season was Beats Bears Battlestar Galactica? Boom.
No. Becca said, yeah, it's that or 2. So I'm right. Okay, it's fine.
Season 2.
Season 2. No, I knew it was early on, but oh boy.
Sorry,
I'm a fake fan. I'm a fake fan, dude. That's it. Looks like I'm gonna have to leave my own stream, and you're gonna have to carry on without me. I just can't go on.
You can no longer claim you can't even watch The Office anymore. I think that's the rule.
That's okay. I don't really need to anymore. I've already seen it. I know. I'm really a fake fan.
What? Real Office fans, they watch it every year, the whole thing, and they know all the lines, and they know all the Jim and Pam moments.
Real talk. The Office is just okay.
Going to choke and die.
It's not bad. It's pretty good. It's definitely one of the better shows out there.
It is. I'm gonna come to freaking Woodburn, and I'm burning the whole place down.
You're gonna burn the wood down. Yeah. Okay. Definitely haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one.
Burn your wood.
You're gonna burn my wood. Oh man.
But yeah. Okay, dude. You gotta tell me. So Shemeketa. Then you go to. I'm trying to remember the name of the school. It's in Salem.
Corbin.
Yeah. How was that?
I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to stay reserved enough that I don't get too caught up in this. Yeah, too heated. We can talk about that over a pint sometime. Just you and me. Because I'm not here to like drag anyone's name in the dirt, right? Because that's dumb. It's dumb. It's lame. There's no point in it. You know, I've already had my chance to do that, so I'm not gonna.
That's totally fair. Okay, so you bounce out of Corbin.
Yeah, I didn't finish my degree, mostly because of 2020, right? So I can say one thing, and this is public information, right? That Corbin decided to fire 3/4 of their music faculty during my last term there. And they were basically, they told me, hey, you either go to George Fox because you can't stay here. It was like that. That was my only option, was to drive to George Fox to finish my degree. Yeah. So that was one of the things. So I never did finish that degree, and that's okay. You know, that's okay.
Well, you know what? You're a musician, and you need a degree to do what you're doing.
Well, see, that was kind of the thing that I concluded to, was like, look, what I want to do is like freelance / studio work, neither of which you need a degree to do. Right. And at this point, I can make like good sounding tracks that I can hold my own. So it's like, what's really the point in getting a degree in something I kind of already know how to do? The only thing that I could see myself getting, like doing education in music production for, would be the software that I'm not familiar with. Right. But if I really just wanted to try out different software, or I guess like even like analog hardware or whatever, if I really wanted to try that stuff out, I have ways of doing that. I don't need to pay, $20,000 a term to do that. I have people. I can make it.
Yeah.
I can make it happen. So it's like whatever.
Yeah. That was the one thing, like with Tree Collective, when we were talking about, like, all right, who do we know? Like, you were one of the first names that came up, because I was like,
oh really?
No, like, Evan can, like, he does this, like, he plays the instruments, he can make it sound, he can mix really well, and he masters really well, and you've been consistent with that, and then plus, weren't you doing like trombone lessons or?
Yeah, that was actually my primary instrument in college, was the trombone.
That's right, like in band, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And you were teaching trombone, and you play mandolin, and you play bass, like, guitar, obviously.
There is a little bit of gap, because while I was at Corbin, I was also teaching band, orchestra, and elementary music at a school for a few years. So yeah, I did that for a couple years, but it wasn't my speed, man. It wasn't my speed. I would rather sit here and mix all day for 8 hours than spend 2 hours teaching. I don't know why. It's just the way. I'm built different.
Oh yeah,
I'm built different.
You're good. You're
Thank
good,
you.
man.
Thank you.
So
appreciate it.
I don't feel like if just personally, from my kind of my untethered view of you, like, I don't need to see a degree when I can hear the quality. So
yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
But yeah, man, no, I think it's I'm watching the
chat here. Yeah, so Becca here was involved in a decision made on a track that I have yet to release. I can clip you to that part on stream. It was pretty funny. I can find that part on stream.
Dude, please.
Yeah, I'll find that part on stream. I have no idea how to do that right now. But yeah, so I mean, the gist of it was she was like, hey, Becca was an old student of mine back 4 years ago, a while ago now. Where wow. I was teaching violin lessons at this private school. But anyways,
oh, okay.
Yeah, this was like, I think I was going to Shemekia at the same time. I think that was when I was doing both those things at the same time when I met you.
You told me about it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there was that school. And it was on stream, and she was like, hey, I feel like it needs a dolphin noise right here. So I'm like, okay, let's see what Splice has, because if any place is going to have a dolphin noise, it's going to be Splice. Let's be real.
Oh,
I love Splice. I love Splice. So I went on the Splice. I found myself a dolphin sound. I put it in my track, didn't edit it at all, and it was perfectly in time and in tune with the track. It was incredible. I don't think I could possibly have had more of a coincidence than that. It was pretty funny. So basically, I just threw it in as is and then just left it. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
That's the best feeling.
Those are so fun. And that was something I want to talk to you about tonight too. Is like your sound design or your sound choices. But we can talk about that a little bit later. We were talking about Tree Collective.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tree Collective, do you have like a dream with it? Because like, yeah, you've got people collaborating on it. Obviously you've already mentioned that you want more people involved. But do you have like a specific strategy or plan that's like hopefully gonna reach that goal or something? Like, are you going to be reaching out to more artists? Are you trying to keep it local to PDX, or what's your plan?
Yeah, I think that last question is the easiest to answer. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, we were talking about how we came to the name.
Yeah, Treecollective. Yes.
So to finish that,
yeah,
basically our idea was we could be like the trees or something that's like, or not even be tree. Like, the name wouldn't be tree. it would just be like every month we have like a tree name.
Yeah.
And I was just, what about Treecollective? Like,
Yeah.
we're in the Pacific Northwest.
Right.
What like emblemizes the Pacific Northwest better than just like the outdoors? And
It's so true.
honestly,
right.
freaking trees. And
Yeah.
you know, and then Nate does the cover art every single month. So
Yeah.
it's literally just, and I love that. It's literally just tree in the middle, whatever tree we choose.
Yeah.
We've had like aspen, oak,
Mm-hmm.
you know, spruce, and palm, and so he'll, you know, basically he masters the tracks and then does the cover art, and then we sit down and we go, all right, does the cover art look good? How do the tracks sound? Post that to DistroKid, you know,
Yeah.
send that guy out.
Now, DistroKid,
And
I have so many questions, man. We could do this all night, to be honest. Sorry, continue what you were talking about.
oh, so okay, so that's how Treecollective came about. We kind of just, he sat down one day. He came through on a Tuesday. It was probably took about a month to really like get to a point where we were like, we want to do this. And so we sit down, and he's like, you know what, Treecollective just sounds good. Let's just roll with that. And then we kind of started going into like concepts for like what we want our logo to look like and all this,
Mm-hmm.
so that whole process was great. Now we want, number one, to get more people involved. We'd love to hear. I mean, my favorite thing about the tape is I can listen to it at work pretty much. Like, I can go to work, I can just listen to beats.
Yeah.
That are made by my buddies and myself.
Yeah.
And then on top of just getting more people involved, we really want to have more like community, like physical closeness. So like,
Mm-hmm.
so like, no, like if somebody, like if my buddy Patrick started like working on music, like producing and stuff, or he wanted to send me a verse to put on my Treecollective submission, I wouldn't be like, hell no, buddy, you're in Florida. Get the hell out of my fucking,
Right.
you know, my text.
This is mine, yeah.
This is our Pacific Northwest. Like, no, like it's very inclusive. Like we want to spread that message of like anybody who wants to throw us a bone, we'll take that bone and we will shake your hand for it.
That's cool.
But
that's cool.
But besides just getting more contribution,
Mm-hmm.
we want to have like, one of the things that we've talked about is like having nights where we like book a venue. There, you know, there's a couple spots. Nate's done like a live gig with one of his like artists that he works with.
I think I remember seeing pictures from that. Yeah.
What's that?
I think I remember seeing pictures from that gig.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it was
I follow
sick.
him on. I've got his Insta, so.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You can check them out. It's they go by Little Demons. That's his group with Olivia, and that's Hey Nate and Olivia. But
cool.
But you know, they killed it. But the venue was almost perfect for playing the type of stuff that we have. I mean, it was literally a group of Portlanders, you know, hanging out together, sipping, you know, drinking beers and like listening to music, like local music.
Yeah.
And so we've had thoughts of like, you know, maybe like a house party type of vibe where, you know, Nate has great, you know, performance speakers, you know, show up, have a kickback, play beats, shout out artists when they're on, when their beats are on, and just make a night out of it. Just if anything to like make those connections as far as like, you know, get Evan to meet Nate.
Right. I would love to meet him. Yeah.
Oh,
I'd love to meet him.
You guys would have a ball.
Cool.
You know, even just going and grabbing food or you know, hanging out. He has a really cool studio space in Portland now. That's just kick ass. I mean, you know, get you and I chilling, and then if you guys, that's the cool thing is like, okay, then a connection is made, and if different Treecollective artists want to work together, then we feel successful at that point. If we already feel successful because You know, we've put out 6 tapes, but you know, I feel it's so we don't really have like a goal of like we make, you know, $100 a month in streaming revenue, or you know,
Right.
but
There's no
it's more,
incentive. It's yeah. Well, I mean, there's
it's
no
like that.
monetary incentive, I should say. Rephrase.
Right.
It's about the
Uh,
community. Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I think the coolest thing, I think the we have a couple different goals. I mean, one of those goals is getting like a Tree Collective night, like house party type thing going.
Yeah.
But having like the cross collaboration and putting out like an artist tape where we have like our contributing like producers,
Mm-hmm.
you know, sending in, you know, beats with vocals on it, and then that's like maybe a second tape that month, or that's the month's tape, and it's like an album with like vocals and like all kinds of different like artists on it, and then collaboration and you know, kind of going that way.
Right.
But I mean, I think the coolest thing about it is you can just spin it so many different ways. There's no real like, you know, there's no real one set thing that is like, this is the only thing. We're here to put out our songs and like get billions of views or whatever. Like
Right.
that would be great.
Right.
But
But the
we
billions of views would be it's not beneficial for ourselves. It's beneficial for the community. You know, it's especially if we can get
exactly.
more local artists, or I mean, I especially if you're talking about getting away from local artists, even, you know, it's just better for the amateur scene, because the amateur scene right now is really pretty bad. I mean, you look at the
It's
major I don't know. You look at the major distributions, like, or the streaming services like Apple Music and Spotify. Some of these big artists, you know, they've been in the game for so long, and they have so much money that they're just pumping back into their own image and their own advertising, that like Spotify, of course, has no choice but to prioritize their music over amateur artists. That being said, I have found amazing amateur artists on Spotify too, but I had to actively go look for it. And so, like, if there's a way that, you know, even if we're starting off as small as we are, you know, trying to get as just many people involved as possible, I think that would, you know, definitely be the best way to go about it, is just by sheer numbers, you know,
yep.
of people involved. Everything else be damned, you know.
Right. Like
Yeah.
why? And I think that's why we inevitably hit the go button on Tree Collective, because we got to a point where we were like, if we don't do this, like who's gonna do, like who's gonna make it happen?
Yeah.
And we were like, you know, we have the time to make sure that it gets out once a month. Like we have the time to you know, prioritize, you know, one of the tough things is like making content
Yeah.
for the page, like for our like social media.
Yeah. Right. Oh no, totally. Oh yeah. I know it. I feel it.
How it is. I mean, that's the thing, is like any
Yeah.
DIY artist, they know how that is, because they're the ones like having to figure out like, oh, I gotta make like, you know, they decide what the goal is.
Yeah.
And we just have really focused on, if we have content to post, like
Mm-hmm.
we at least post once a month with like, hey, here's the album, check it out. And then I've been doing these like kind of like chill like voiceover like narrations,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh
Yeah.
narration videos that I kind of try to make a little funny but low key, um and use that as kind of a funny way to like talk about the album, or the vibe of the month that we're in. But
Mm-hmm.
beyond that, we don't really try that hard to like advertise. We're really mostly just like, you know, if we post an album, you know, our artists repost, and
Yeah.
then if our artists, like any contributing artist, post, you know, their own music that they put out, we repost that and we share that. So
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it's kind of a, like I never feel obligated, or like I have to do anything with Tree Collective, um, which is cool. And I guess the other way that it's kind of helped me as an artist is I've been reaching out to more people, and like that's helped a lot, because
Yeah.
it got me talking to you more, which is great. It got me talking more to, honestly, just like my friends,
Mm-hmm.
who, you know, typically I wouldn't even think to hit people up about music because I was so like in my head. All right, well, I'm producing and like writing my own stuff, and it's not ready yet, and I won't talk to anybody until it's like ready. But it's like, what?
Right. And I'm guilty of that too. I know exactly that mindset. And it's what having this community or like a group of people that work on, even if they're doing separate kind of ideas or they can come together every once in a while, it is a kind of a motivating factor, but it also does get you out of your own head a little bit. I know what you're saying, you know, because like one of the biggest things that I remember you telling me was like it was like in the middle of 2020, like height of the pandemic, right? And we're like, and you're like, man, just make music, man, just do it. And I'm like, okay, maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. And I didn't actually wind up making a lot of music at all during 20, or at least nothing to really show for. I actually did. It's kind of hard to admit. Belligerent, the song that was on the last months, that was actually supposed to be the opener to my album that I was working on in 2020 that I dropped. Not dropped online, that I discarded basically. And I have some like leftover tracks from that I can still like have to release eventually. But like a lot of those songs were so hard to write because they were so very specific to experiences in my life. So in that way, it's like hard to get out of my own head because of the experiences of 2020. You know, was really I would say that was probably the most limiting factor of my music or my creative space, my headspace. You know, was the stress of the pandemic, which I'm sure is the case for a lot of people. I mean, that being said, not a lot of music in 2020 was released. I'm talking like in the big scene. But now you look at the beginning of 2021 through now. I don't know how much you've been keeping up with the big leagues right now, but it's been incredible. Some of the stuff that's been dropping, man. It's been stupid. If you look, I showed you. Did I show you the little? Did I show you? Yeah, I showed you Little Sims. She's coming to Portland in 2022, man. It'd be dumb if we didn't go, in my opinion. Yeah, I want to go. I want to see her really bad.
Yeah, man. You know, it's crazy. It's like that's been honestly like the most inspiring thing for me typically is new music that I can really like latch onto, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
And 2021, man, crazy.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of looking for new artists, Becca in the chat says Soul Tribe. I don't know what Soul Tribe is. I think I've heard the name. Soul Tribe, I believe, is a local gig.
Soul Tribe.
Becca, if you can tell us more about that, that'd be kind of sweet.
Becca, put us on.
Yeah, let's. I'd like to see, because she was saying she's got lots of musician friends from Soul Tribe, so I'm assuming Soul Tribe isn't like the music thing, but it's like a community of a thing that Becca does. That would be apparently has full of other musicians that produce music. So that would be kind of a cool thing. Becca, like, yeah, get us connected to some more people so we can start shooting some more stuff out in Treecollective.
Becca, is it Soul Tribe Mama on Instagram? Because I just followed that account.
Oh, that's so good. I don't know. Is it Soul Tribe Mama? I don't know. I don't know if Becca's still on. No, definitely not.
No, Soul Tribe Mama. Let me show you. It's fantastic. It's a mom. How do I flip the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you got it.
It's a mom.
Oh, wow.
And it's just this like blonde, but like fake blonde mom, and she just like posts pictures of herself and her baby. God,
this
is the depths of society.
This is it, man. This is what when our forefathers were writing the Declaration of Independence, they're like, we want people to be free, to be moms, to be blonde moms on Instagram. That's probably in the Declaration of Independence somewhere. Oh my, Team Pumpkin Spice. Look, I'm no hate, right? No hate, but like, I love how stereotypical it is.
It's fantastic.
It's
amazing. Every picture has a whitewash filter on it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Let me read this. All right. It's that time of year when pumpkin spice lattes become my daily craving. Oh. I've had one every morning since they came out.
Oh boy.
Laughing or tongue out emoji. Are you team pumpkin spice? And then she adds like 3 different things. It's fantastic.
Is she sponsored, or does she? How does she afford her rock and roll lifestyle? How does she afford her rock and roll lifestyle?
I think it's something else because she has 160 likes on it. Anyway,
160 is not a lot. But what if I? Okay. Long story, kind of dispersed now. Becca, if you want to like email one of us or text one of us and just give us some contact info for those people those specific people, just that would be sweet. Let us reach. Yeah. Let us or have them reach out. That would be even better. Have them reach out to probably you, Ryan, right? Would you say that you're kind of like the administrator of Treecollective, or is that more Nate's position?
Nate and I are like equally admin. So
okay.
So hit me up, or no. Hit up we have a Treecollective email. It's
That's right.
treecollectivepdx@gmail.com. treecollectivepdx@gmail.com.
Is that looking like it's right? Yeah. I put it in the chat. So
treecollectivepdx. Yeah.
Copy and paste it.
Shoot context to that email. Shoot,
Yeah.
And emails, whatever works. And or shoot that email to your friends. We'd love to just get more beats, more songs.
Bro, I just had a light bulb moment. I've been looking for ways to mix and master more for people. Would it be, I wonder if it's viable for people who want to get into the scene but don't have their own equipment or don't really know the basics of mixing and mastering, if I could do it for them and put it on the Treecollective thing. I might play with that idea.
Absolutely.
I might play with that. Look up Jake Kohara on YouTube. He's one of the best. I will do that right now.
YouTube. Jake Kohara.
He's got 101 subs, man. 101 subs. That's nothing to slouch about, especially in today's.
Dude, suck it, Jake. I think I have like one more follower than you.
Wow. Oh, look at Ryan. Oh, look at Ryan go. He's got 102 subs, dude. Dang.
Take that.
Yeah.
Take that, Jake.
Get bent, Jake.
Dude.
No hate, but get bent.
So
he's performing live. Here's a most recent video of him performing live. Ooh, okay.
He's got some views, and this was John Klein.
Oh, he's good. Oh, he's good.
Based on the popular Backyardigans tune, Castaways.
Based on the very popular TikTok song.
Dude,
I'm not on TikTok, man. That's good. That's good. That's good stuff, man.
I did a cover of Castaways with Nate, and we bounced that on Audius, and it got like 2,500 views out of nowhere.
That's incredible. Well, yeah, because it popped off, man. That song popped off. Imagine
it's a great song.
But yeah, it's actually amazing. I mean, I don't know if you watch musician YouTubers at all, like Adam Neely. Do you watch Adam Neely?
No, Adam Neely.
Adam Neely, dude. Adam Neely. He's got some great content, first and foremost. Incredible stuff. He's a bass player, which is not how I found him. I found him because okay, here, I'll show you his Spotify, because he's got a band called Sungazer.
Oh, sick.
And it is some of the most nuttiest sounding, like, not only is the music itself, oh, I just realized my Spotify's covering your face. There we go. Not only is, oh, dude, this is so scuffed. This whole stream is so scuffed, and I love it. I love it. It's true. It's true to who I am.
It's the
Anyway,
best.
it's the best. It's the best. Anyways, I can't. Here, I'm gonna have to shoot it to you later because I can't actually click away from the Discord. Otherwise, it disappears on my stream. So let's not worry about that for now. Or I'll just put it into the stream chat. I can do that too. Anyways,
Hey, there you go.
Sungazer. Not only is there is his songwriting and arrangement just off this planet, but the production of it's just so good. It's hard to describe. The sound design is amazing. Definitely recommend that dude's stuff. Sungazer, the band. It's just two people.
Oh, Sungazer.
Yes, Sungazer. It's two people, drummer and Adam Neely. I forget the drummer's name. He's nothing to scoff at either, though. Yeah, definitely check them out.
What's your favorite song?
I really enjoy what's it called? Drunk is a really great track. Sequence Start is got one of the best bass lines in any track I've ever, like, it's stupid. So yeah, Sequence Start and Drunk would be the two that I would start on. Very good stuff. Anybody else listening, check them out. It's stupid good. Okay. I want to bring up a couple more topics before I just want to talk to you about like mastering. Like, so you mentioned that you use Ozone, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I started using Ozone maybe about a year ago. And it is, I didn't really understand it at the time. So this is kind of a funny story. On the album that I released on Spotify, it sounds like, as far as like mastering goes, it's awful. It's awful. I can barely listen to my own tracks on Spotify without cringing a bit, because it's like, oh man, should I just like make a remastered version of this album? Because it's,
yes,
I should.
Yes.
Because I had just purchased Ozone through Splice at the time. Oh, this is 2 years ago, I guess. Wow. I thought it was only a year ago. Anyways, 2 years ago. And I just purchased Ozone through that. And so you can guess what I did for every track. Go ahead, guess. Guess what I did for every track right before I released them.
Did you do the like auto master?
Yes, I did the auto master. Yes, I did the auto master for every single track. And yeah, it's fine. See, here's the thing with the auto master. The auto master always makes it too, like, the mix is just way too cold. It's just not punchy. But like maybe it does a really good job of like finding the bad frequencies, like the harsh frequencies in your mix, but it's awful at maximizing. Yeah. It barely maximizes. Yes, yeah, it is the one with the rose. Yes, it did come out in 2019. You're correct. Sorry.
That was one of those like, I don't know. I was like, I like turned it up. Like I was listening to the project and I was like, I love his ideas. I love the chords.
Correct.
Like the instrument is really good, but like nothing hits.
Horribly mixed. It's awful. And part of that is also because a lot of those songs I had written for about 2 years prior. So a lot of the songs, some of the later songs on the record actually were made much more recently than some of the ones prior. And so now that I actually understand how Ozone works and like what makes a good mastered track, it's like, I just can't help but cringe every time I listen to that album. So
yeah,
it's
man. I mean,
sad.
that was the funny thing for me is like, I don't know. I had, you know, you have stuff on SoundCloud, and I remember like, man, I gotta look it up right now.
Yeah,
but dude,
yeah,
there was one, man, where I was okay. So I was living at my aunt and uncle's house.
Sure.
In Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see here. Where are you, Evan Merklin? Wow, dude. I look up Evan Merklin, and the first thing that comes up is Belligerent.
Amazing. That's great. Because for those of you that are listening, I have a secretly leaked track that would be aligned with the rest of my alternative rock stuff that I made on the last album. So if you're looking for something new for me, I did not release it myself. I leaked it on Treecollective.
Yeah, it's sick.
There's no reason, because there's not really much of a reason why I did it like that, because I had plans to release it myself anyways, which I still will. I think I'm just going to do an EP next though, because I've got like I've got 4 other tracks that are like similar in style. Belligerent's definitely the most like poppy song that I have. That being said, I wanted to release those all at once, and they're not all quite ready yet. So I was like, I might just leak it. I'll leak my own track. Why not?
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
it's a bopper. I would highly recommend it. Nate and I were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, Evans has to be first." And I was like, "It has to be first."
Awesome.
Like,
I mean, it's also just a completely different genre from anything else on the Treecollective on that month.
It's perfect. I think like even okay. That's one thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about. Genre, like,
yeah,
there's a group of like Portland based artists now, but they went to UO,
mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to name names or anything. They're good artists, but they didn't like collaborate, because they didn't collaborate outside of their genre. Their genre is like boom bap, like 90s rap. Everything's a sample that you like chop up, and like
sure,
like it's got to sound like it's from the 90s.
Okay.
And my whole thing was always like my reaction to that group of dudes was like, but what if there was more? Like, what if you did that and used it as your, like, that's your advantage, that's your niche, but you expanded and you trickled modern ideas into that 90s sound. Like, what would that sound like?
Right. Kind of a fusion.
As a use like triplet flows, like in like trap rap,
right,
and it on 90s beats. Like why are we putting ourselves in this like little box? And I think that's one of the coolest things about having like an Evan Merkland like rock track, pop, like pop rock essentially, on a Treecollective tape. Because the only reason why the tape is like kind of hip hop centric is because that's what, that's similar. That's kind of almost the genre that like my brother and I produce in. And then Nate kind of dabbles in EDM, electronic, and pop, and then also hip hop.
Yeah.
So, he's talked to me about how like a couple times he's been like, yeah, like I'm kind of like trying to like, send like hip hop beats, or like rap beats, or chill hop beats for the Treecollective stuff. And I'm like, dude, why? Like, that's like the point of Treecollective isn't to be this like hip hop group. It's supposed to be like a
collective.
A collective.
But you think of trees. Every tree, no two trees are going to be exactly alike, And there's and there's like a philosophy we can take to that too, and it's like, sure, no two trees in the same grove, like the Treecollective every week is the tree grove, but then no two trees going to be exactly the same. And so we can tap into that a little bit, and the only reason why I sent in lo-fi this week, or this month, was because I wanted to,
right.
And so that's what I really like about this project the most, is that it's like one of the first things that I don't feel like I need to limit myself to, because when I'm releasing my own stuff, I have like different, like my SoundCloud is just for my EDM, my Kombucha Pulse just for my lo-fi, my Evan Merkland on Spotify is just for my alt rock, and it's just like, but it's kind of annoying, I would like to have one thing that I release, and then Treecollective comes and saves the day. So
yeah, man,
it's cool.
You hit me up on Belligerent, and you were like, actually, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to put that out. And like, what I said to you was like 100% like basically like that should be the Tree Collective like mantra. It's just like, do you want to? Do you want to put it out? We have no like barriers on us because it's not an Evan Merklin project and it's not a Ryan Debban project. It's the Collective's project.
Right. It's a union.
That's the badass thing about it. It's that's low key the superpower.
Yeah.
Of it.
Oh yeah.
Totally. Is it gives us power, because I know for myself, like, and the crazy thing is, like, I've learned this time and time again, but like I think when you think of yourself as a solo artist, you get really stressed about how you're perceived. I think one of the things, like, there's a couple of things that I've dealt with just like on what I put out.
Yeah.
I got furloughed for a month in like springtime. It was the whole month of March. No. It was half of March and the whole month of April in 2020.
Huh. I wonder what happened during that time.
Huh?
I wonder what happened during that time.
Oh,
that's weird. Knows? Why would you get furloughed? That's weird.
I was drinking on the job, you know.
Of course. Oh wait, you got furloughed for drinking on the job? Can I? Where do you work? I want to. Oh my god.
And we're gonna give you a month off.
Yeah, right.
But you're still a part of the team, though.
Right. Clearly, you need a break, a very long break.
Yeah. You need a big little break there. No, you know, obviously, the quarantine hit, you know, and COVID was rampant, and so I basically went home and made a track every single week.
Yeah.
And I basically was at a point where I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to, like, whatever track I like the most at the end of the week, I'm just going to mix it to the best of my ability, master it, and then put it out as a single.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a tape of like 6 to like 8 songs, and I just called it Quarantine Tape, and I like put it out. And
I listened to that whole tape today. Oh. I was straight up listening to your stuff all day today. I was so pumped to talk to you finally. I was like, I want to be like his super fan right now. I want to be a super fan for forever, man. I'm so excited. Your stuff gets me so hyped, man.
I'm happy you dig it. I just like, I think the thing for me is like getting past the point, and I know you deal with this, and I know Nate deals with it, my brother deals, like anybody who makes music deals with it. But it's getting past the point of like, do I like this?
Yep.
If you like it, like, why not do something with it?
Yeah.
And I'm constantly relearning that lesson, because I went through a period of time where I think like every week I put out like an instrumental. I just put out an instrumental, and for some reason I had this like thought in my head that I needed to like record my vocals on every single beat I make, and then it has to be a song before I put it out.
Well,
I can't.
Right. And there is a philosophy to that too, if you think about it, because it's like, well, how do you make your music the most relatable or the most accessible to people? And it's through language, right? Because not everybody listens to music the same way that we do. They don't listen to music and feel the emotion that was put behind it, especially if it's like, you know, I mean, obviously almost every piece of music is in some way emotionally charged, but not everybody can perceive it like the way that you want to convey it without lyrics attached. And so it is incredibly difficult to make an instrumental that you feel 100% comfortable with. Yeah. So when you were saying like, do you probably also feel this way? Of course I feel this way. You know, I make lots of instrumentals too. Don't get me wrong, but they don't feel like actual productions to me, you know?
Right. Yeah, and that's what I learned is I got to the point where I was like, I like this beat. I don't have any vocals to put on it. And I put it out, and then I put out another, and then I put out another. And it snowed out last winter. It snowed out, and I did like maybe like 10 tracks. And in one of them, I was like, "Oh, this is just a cool track. Like, come on, man! Like, this is a cool fucking track." I just like listening to it. I'm jamming it in the car, and it was like one of them that I made when it snowed.
Yeah.
Like, screw it. I'm gonna just like try and mix it a little bit more, and then master it, put it out. I called it Kill Bill.
I was gonna say, I was about to bring up that track actually. Yeah.
It's one that I produced in like 25 minutes, and it just felt good. And my buddy Johnny, who does like a lo-fi like curator like playlist type of thing that he's built, and it's taken him a while to build it.
Mm-hmm.
He hit me up. He was like, "Hey man, are you okay if I put it on my playlist?" And I was like, "Bruh, like do whatever you want. Like I think it's a cool track." And now it has like 30,000 plays or something.
It popped off, man. It was crazy. It's got like 36,000 or something like that.
It has a good amount of plays. That's the first song that's ever gotten me more than 1,000 plays.
And it is ever. And it's a phenomenal track. I listened to it a lot, actually. I think it's in a couple of my playlists, to be honest.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, dude,
I mean, it's great. And it's like, yeah, and you're saying like, yeah, I just whipped it up in 25. Well, yeah, why not? You know, because here's the thing. It's not about that sunk cost fallacy, right? We get ourselves wrapped into this idea that like the more time that you spend on something makes it more valuable. And it's not true. And in being artists, it's so hard not to think that way too. Especially because it's like for some tracks, I will spend 16 plus hours just mixing and mastering. That's excluding any of the actual songwriting and recording in the recording process. And then I'll be like, okay, this track, this will hopefully finally be the one that pops off. And then it's just not. And it sucks, you know? And so it's like, I've tried since then to kind of like, you know, Belligerent, for example, I could probably find out how many hours I spent on that. But I spent an astronomical amount of time on that, and then I just didn't do anything with it. And I convinced myself, and I thought the best idea for me for especially for that whole like EP that was happening at the time was not to let myself get trapped in that sunk cost fallacy, right? Just because I spent a lot of time on these tracks doesn't mean I have to release them. I can love them for what they are. They gave me a lot of understanding. They were a way for me to process my emotions at the time because they were all written during 2020. So it was like, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. And a lot of them have a kind of a background, especially in my own head, about self-doubt. And a lot of the lyrics kind of struggle with that. And some of the lyrics don't struggle with that, even though I did struggle with that, you know?
Totally.
All that to say, man, the sunk cost fallacy gets us all in one way or another, and it's our job to recognize it when it happens. And especially with your track, with the experience with Kill Bill, it's like, I mean, the opposite can be true too. It's just because you didn't spend a lot of time on it doesn't mean it's not a good track or it's not valuable, right? It doesn't mean that people don't want to listen to it, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think just like your experience, it kind of just comes down to, do I like this?
Yeah.
Even if you like it, and that's, I think, the easiest thing for me about putting out an instrumental versus putting out a song with your vocals on it, because
sure,
when you put your vocals on it, you are saying like, here is me and here's my interpretation of this song. And that's in my opinion, that's what gets me to a point where I'm like, I can't drop this yet. I can't drop this yet, because it's like, am I willing to be this open with anybody?
Right. Oh, I mean, it was hard enough making for me. It was like, for some of these, it was like hard enough just making the track. I've got a couple where I'm like quite literally at my emotional lowest point, you know, especially during 2020. 2020 was my emotional lowest point. I don't think I've ever been lower in any part of my life. I come out the other side a stronger, better person. I think more emotionally stable. But that being said, it's like a lot of these songs were written at that rock bottom. And so it's like, hard to think about like, well, this is literally my most vulnerable point in my life. Do I really want people to hear this? Is it worth it to me? Is my value need to be tied, or does the value that I place on this track, this piece of art, need to be tied to who listens to it? No.
Right. That's it's like getting past that is the toughest for me personally. But
yeah, it's so hard.
You know, that's one of the things that, and I've been thinking more and more about, and I think it kind of comes down to a feeling. Like, do you feel like you want to put stuff out? Do you feel like you want to progress with your music, with your sound as an artist? And when I did that with the quarantine tape, I got hit up the most I've ever been hit up about cryo.
Dude, that track is that track's a banger, dude. That track's a banger.
And I made the track in literally like less than an hour. Like I love that. And the hook, I freeze like sipping up on his cryo.
Yeah.
Couple miles, like
you were probably sipping on is it Hot Valley?
Yes.
Hot Valley cryo? Yes. Oh yeah, of course you were.
My whole quarantine experience. I went to Minto Brown Park.
Yeah.
I ran a couple miles. Like I was with my brother and I think we clocked it at like a couple, like the big loop is like a couple miles. I was listening to like Miles Davis, like and in my whole, like, it was like, all right, get back to the house about, I'd probably wake up about like 11 a.m. or something, eat something, go hit a run with Drew, and then get back to the house and just start working on music. And that song, I just like literally freestyled the hook. I wrote the verse like really quickly. And I think not having a job really allowed me to make music. That was the crazy shit. Like not having to worry about what am I posting for the practice that I work at. Right. Not having to worry about how many people did I sign up this month? How many people did I, this and that. It was like I just let that all go. And then what did I make this week? And then getting the response that I did. I mean, it didn't go crazy. Like it didn't blow up, but the responses from people that never hit me up, and then they hit me up and they're like, yo, but like, this is actually really good. That was all I needed. The other thing that I did was I hit up people to like, just throw in like a quick, like, here's what I'm up to, like during the pandemic. And I had my friend Daniel throw in like and he sent me the shittiest audio. Like I can't describe what it was like to throw the audio file in the FL Studio like audio editor and then like work with the channel. But like the way it sounds is like the best it could have. Like
it's incredible.
I don't know how.
Dude, sometimes as a lo-fi producer, I feel like there's no such thing as shitty audio. But actually, though, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It's like literally the entire genre is around this, and this is why I love lo-fi so much. And I've talked about this in past streams too. Is like what kind of my philosophy on lo-fi. But like this, one of the reasons why I love lo-fi so much is because I don't have to worry. I just let the ideas flow. I don't have to worry so much about is this audio clean? Because honestly, if it's not clean, it's better, kind of in some ways. So that's one of the reasons why I love lo-fi. And it's even then, it's like I have this old record player behind me that I like to use for my crackle sounds and whatnot. Which is a lot of fun to do. Yeah, it's really cool. So I use like, it's not analog recording per se, but it's, as close as you can get without actually investing in that kind of hardware. But yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like, it's hard. especially with lo-fi. It's hard. Sometimes it's almost a little too freeing. I don't know if you ever come across this problem too, where it's like you sit down to create something and you're a little too free about it, because there's, one of my friends, Devin, who I, did an album with last year. One of his professors, because he studied music composition in college, and one of his professors said, actually the best way to write music is with limitations. Sometimes
is what
limitations. Sorry, limitations. So like sometimes if you're really stuck in an idea, or really stuck, can't really think of a good idea for something, create an artificial limitation. So it's like, okay, I want to write a song. This is just an example. Write a song about what I did today. And so like that can be like your lyrical limitation, and then like your musical limitation would be like, okay, it needs to be in this key, but I can only use like minor chords or something, or like I can only use major chords or something like that. Just as an example, or like I have to have it based around this motif or this rhythmic motif specifically or whatever. So it's like, so pulling that back to like making music, as in the way that we do, sometimes I find when I open a new project, it's like, maybe I have like an initial idea. And this is part of why I think not a lot of my projects get done, especially in one session. It's because I sit down and I don't have enough limitations, right? So it's like hard to think about, what do I need to do next to make this a good track? I don't know. Let's start over. So
yeah,
I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know if you ever experienced that before, but
I've never experienced that.
Really?
Everything that I've ever is perfect.
That's true. Right. I mean, you can't expect it to be perfect either.
I'm gonna hit the bathroom really quick.
Yeah. It's about 10:30.
It is
so
10:30.
It is 10:30. So what I think we should do, if you are open to doing this again next week or coming up at another time, man. I do have a writing session I got to get to with my band here coming up. So,
dude,
yeah, we did it last night. We're really trying to push for this recording weekend, Yeah, super stoked about that.
Get to it. Thanks for having me on, and we gotta link up sometime. And
yeah.
Just even if we're just catching up and you're we're just talking about what's going on. But
I'd like to meet off stream sometime just so we can chat about the stuff that I don't want to talk about publicly.
Dude, yeah, I think there's a lot. I want to get you to come up and hang with Nate and I, honestly. You guys would vibe, I know for sure.
Sweet.
But yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, sweet. So Becca's gonna hit us up.
Yeah,
Becca, shoot out that Treecollective email, or shoot the Treecollective email names for us to hit up, because I'd be happy reaching out to people and kind of giving that, shouting out our message, and getting, the word out as far as what we're doing, how you can get involved. There's countless ways you can get involved with us. So, but other than that, it was great talking with you.
Yeah,
and, We'll keep texting, but I'd be happy to come on, another week for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a strict schedule, dude. I just kind of jump on whenever I feel like it. Again, whenever I feel like it, kind of like my musical work ethic right now. But whenever I feel like it, feels like it's been more often these days, which is pretty good, pretty cool. But let me know when you're free next, and I'll just drive up to Tigard/PDX, because I'm in Woodburn, which is like half an hour from there. So
you're probably like 20-25 minutes away, which is awesome.
I make that drive basically every day. So.
Oh, really?
Not up there, but down south. It's like the same distance. So I'm driving.
Like, damn.
Yeah, all right. Perfect. I know, right? No, driving is just never an issue for me. So it's like, just let me know.
Sweet, man. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, goodbye, everybody in the chat. Evan, it's been a real pleasure. and we'll get something going.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, dude. Have a good sesh, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay, that was awesome. Wow, that went way smoother than I thought I was going to go. For anybody still watching, if you're watching after the fact, or I don't think anybody's watching right now, which is A-okay too. Yeah, that was Ryan Debban. Check him out. He is local to PDX area. He makes a lot of music. Ryan Debban, that's his name on Spotify as well, on YouTube and stuff like that. Treecollective, check them out. Have their email in the chat. I will probably also put it in the description of this stream as well if you're interested in emailing them. If you are an artist who is looking for an outlet, a community of other like-minded individuals, these guys are awesome to work with. I just jumped on board with them after they hit me up a couple months ago. I just didn't have the time, but after I did, they're just a phenomenal group of people. So yeah, if that sounds like something you want to do, email them. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great